Under the effulgent gaze of the Georgian sun, Savannah simmered in a haze of moist warmth and southern charm. Its quaint architectural splendor belying the unquiet underbelly of clandestine whispers and covert operations. Amidst this microcosm of sublime juxtaposition, a lone figure navigated the city's maze-like bylanes, a figure as seemingly unremarkable as he was irreplaceably unique. Elliot, a young private investigator, graced the teeming streets with a sagacious gaze that carried an age beyond his years. His hazel eyes, imbued with an undeniable kindness, flickered with an edge of untold stories, buried sorrows, and hard-fought resilience. His shoulders bore an invisible weight that hummed with a selflessness as palpable as the city's breathless humidity. He carried the lilt of a man on a mission laden with rumors as dense and unforgiving as the city's late afternoon air. Elliot's exploration of Savannah led him into the heart of its vibrant labyrinth, the genteel southern hospitality giving way to the city's whispering shadows. His queries were directed towards a rumored dread, whispers of hazardous biological weaponry hidden amidst the derelict beauty of a sprawling junkyard. "And why are you interested in these old rumors, boy?" asked Jasper, an aging bartender whose voice carried the smoky aroma of his dingy bar and decades of stories untold. His eyes studied Elliot, assessing the character of the man sipping whiskey before him. Elliot, in response, only offered a placid smile. "Old habits, Jasper. Just trying to repay a debt." His mind recalled the chilling specter of his past, psychological abuse that had molded him into a vessel of trauma, regret, and resilience. The vague allusion to a debt was as much a reference to his past as it was a self-imposed obligation to prevent others from experiencing similar torment. Jasper nodded, the unspoken stories between them as clear as the crystal glasses behind the bar. "Well, the junkyard's run by old Cletus, a surly fellow but got a soft spot for those in need. Be careful, though. Not all secrets hidden in that scrapyard are what they seem." As the sun dipped below the horizon, bathing Savannah in an eerie twilight, his resolve hardened. His past had shaped him, his trauma had fueled him, and his inherent kindness had given him the strength to delve into the heart of the city's darkness. He was ready to uncover the truth, regardless of the horrors it might unveil. As dawn gave way to the new day, the city of Savannah seemed to breathe, stirring the dust and grime of the sprawling junkyard, where past and present met in an eerie monument of decay. Against the orange brilliance of the rising sun, Elliot entered the labyrinthine wasteland. His figure was dwarfed by the sprawling towers of rusty metal and discarded machinery, their silent hulks casting long shadows like ancient monoliths from a forgotten era. Through the cacophony of discarded civilization, he moved with calculated deliberation, every crunch of gravel beneath his boots echoing the beat of his heart, anxious yet resolute. In this sprawling kingdom of scrap, he was an outsider, a stranger treading on the graveyard of man-made marvels. His eyes, wells of inquisitive kindness, absorbed the vista of desolation, picking out the narratives hidden in the rusted detritus. To the untrained eye, it was a place of abandonment, a sanctuary of society's forgotten trinkets. To him, however, it was a gigantic jigsaw puzzle. Each piece, though inanimate, told a tale, held a clue to the secret humming at the junkyard's core. As he delved deeper into the metallic labyrinth, his attention was drawn to a seemingly ordinary piece of debris, an old biohazard container. His gloved fingers traced the familiar trefoil symbol, an emblem that stirred a queasy discomfort within his gut. He didn't want his suspicions to be true, but the evidence was increasingly irrefutable. "Elliot, what brings you to my humble abode?" The gravelly voice echoed through the maze of discarded artifacts, jolting him from his contemplations. Cletus, the junkyard owner, appeared from behind a pile of scrap, his imposing figure silhouetted against the relentless sun. "I'm just seeking answers, Cletus," he replied, his voice steady but not devoid of an undercurrent of concern. "Answers, huh? This ain't no library, boy," Cletus grumbled, scratching his grizzled beard. As the day slowly succumbed to evening, Elliot found himself engaged in an impromptu excavation. Under Cletus's watchful eye, he uncovered a buried trove of discarded objects, each more mystifying than the previous. Among the typical detritus, he unearthed evidence of peculiar biological materials, their complexity pushing against the boundaries of his understanding. While Cletus retired for the night, Elliot stayed amidst the towering mounds of scrap, the soft glow of his flashlight illuminating the chilling mysteries that were gradually unveiling. The darkness around him seemed to echo his escalating unease, the towering piles of scrap becoming menacing specters in the dim light. As the moon made its ascent, casting an eerie glow over the junkyard, he couldn't shake off a growing sense of dread. Each unearthed object, each cryptic piece of evidence, felt like a breadcrumb leading him into the abyss of the unknown. The silent junkyard was no longer just a graveyard of discarded artifacts. It had transformed into an alien landscape bristling with ominous possibilities. He was grappling with more questions than answers. His journey had taken him from the labyrinthine streets of Savannah to the heart of an enigmatic junkyard. As he peered into the heart of this metallic abyss, he couldn't help but feel a chill of anticipation. As dawn peeked timidly over the horizon, its shy rays breathed life into the metallic graveyard. The dew-kissed junkyard seemed almost surreal in the first light of the day, but its benign facade could not deceive him. The previous night's discoveries resonated within him, nudging at the corners of his mind, disturbing the semblance of his usual calm. Standing amidst the decaying relics, Elliot felt a sense of alienation that ran deeper than his unfamiliarity with the environment. It was a disorientation, an unsettling sensation of standing on the precipice of an inscrutable abyss. Yet his spirit remained unbroken. It was these moments, standing before the unknown, where he felt truly alive. He turned his attention to an object of his discovery from the previous night. It was a twisted piece of technology, unrecognizable yet undeniably advanced. Carved into the metallic surface were symbols that seemed to dance and change under his scrutinizing gaze, glyphs that belonged to no known language on Earth. In the quiet solitude of the morning, he traced the peculiar engravings, his fingers brushing over the alien glyphs. As he did, he felt a strange pulse emanating from the object, a rhythm that seemed to resonate within his own being. The sensation was eerily familiar, not unlike the disturbing sense of dread he'd experienced when first hearing the whispers of bioweaponry. Later that day, in the cluttered office of a linguistics professor at the local university, he found himself confronted by a profound revelation. The symbols, according to the wide-eyed academic, bore an uncanny resemblance to various ancient scripts, yet they were distinct and unmistakably not of human origin. "And you found this in a junkyard?" the professor asked, a tremor in his voice mirroring Elliot's own disbelief. "Elliot, if these symbols are what I think they are, this could be evidence of..." "Evidence of what?" Elliot urged, his heart pounding. "Alien communication." The revelation hung heavily in the air, its implications twisting his reality into a spiraling vortex of unknowns. The whispers of bioweaponry had drawn him into this investigation, but what he was uncovering was far beyond the scope of mere human contrivance. In the heart of Savannah's sprawling junkyard, beneath layers of rusted metal and forgotten relics, he had unearthed a message from beyond the stars. His mind swam with questions and theories, but one stark realization drowned out the rest. He was no longer dealing with a simple case of rumored bioweaponry. He had stumbled upon a cosmic mystery of unfathomable proportions. With the revelation sending ripples across the pool of his understanding, he knew the investigation was about to take a darker turn. He was venturing into a world beyond his comprehension, and as the moon cast long, looming shadows across the junkyard, he steeled himself for the chapters of the unknown that were yet to unfold. In the gray twilight of another dawn, Elliot once again ventured into the labyrinthine expanse of the junkyard. Each footfall seemed to echo with the revelations of the previous day, reverberating with the gravity of his unearthly discovery. The reality of his situation had started to sink in. He was now entwined in a cosmic enigma, a mystery that bled far beyond the earthly confines of Savannah. His quest led him to the heart of the junkyard, where the alien artifact lay half buried in the detritus. He held it in his hands once more, tracing the mysterious glyphs. The object pulsed anew, the rhythm seeming to respond to his touch, resonating within him like a cosmic heartbeat. From the periphery, Cletus watches in silence, his hawk-like eyes studying the young investigator's interaction with the artifact. Despite his gruff exterior, a rare flicker of concern crossed his hardened features. Elliot looked up, his eyes reflecting the weight of his newfound understanding. "It's a message, Cletus, a message from a world beyond ours." His voice was soft, almost reverent, carrying an edge of awe mingled with a lingering trepidation. Cletus fell silent, his gaze shifting between Elliot and the artifact. The wheels of comprehension turned behind his eyes, processing the significance of Elliot's declaration. Throughout the day, the two men found themselves engaged in a dialogue unlike any other. They debated the possibilities, the implications, and the potential perils of their discovery. There were moments of tension, punctuated by bouts of laughter, as they grappled with the bizarre reality unfolding before them. As nightfall cloaked the junkyard in an eerie calm, they found themselves standing side by side, gazing at the enigmatic artifact. In the silence of the Savannah night, they came to an unspoken agreement, a silent covenant forged in the crucible of cosmic mystery. They would explore this path together, venturing into the unknown, the thin line between investigator and junkyard owner blurring into irrelevance. Under the watchful gaze of the cosmos, Savannah basked in the muted glory of a new dawn. For Elliot, however, the familiar cityscape felt irrevocably altered. It was as if he had awakened into a different universe, where the once benign junkyard now bore the weight of an extraterrestrial enigma. At the heart of this sprawling metallic kingdom, the alien artifact pulsated rhythmically, resonating with the silent song of distant galaxies. Entranced, he found himself drawn towards its mesmerizing cadence, an ephemeral symphony that seemed to communicate in a language that transcended mere human understanding. As he hovered over the object, the pulsations grew stronger, the symphony swelling into a crescendo that reverberated within his very being. It was an all-encompassing resonance, an invisible thread connecting him to the vastness of the cosmos. In that moment, he felt an intense sense of belonging, as if the cosmic heartbeat was echoing his own. Cletus watched from a distance, his gruff exterior failing to mask a profound respect for the young investigator. He observed as Elliot seemed to commune with the artifact, an unspoken dialogue unfolding before his eyes. This strange spectacle bore the weight of cosmic significance, transforming their humble junkyard into an unlikely nexus of interstellar communication. In the fading twilight, Elliot shared his revelation, his voice echoing with the wisdom of the cosmos. The artifact was not merely a message, it was an invitation, a cosmic beacon beckoning humanity to join the broader symphony of the universe. As the enormity of this revelation settled over them, the two men found themselves in a quiet contemplation, dwarfed by the immensity of their discovery. They were on the precipice of a new epoch, standing at the doorway of a reality far beyond their mundane existence. With the moon casting a spectral glow over the junkyard, Elliot made his decision. He would answer the cosmic call. His journey as a private investigator, which had begun with a desire to repay a personal debt, had led him to a far grander obligation. He was ready to embrace his role in this cosmic narrative, ready to cross the threshold and venture into the unknown. We appreciate you tuning in. If you fancied the content, show your support with a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to keep up with our eerie adventures. Eldritch Tales Factory has plenty more to offer. Until next time.